Hey guys, I wanted to talk about, that article that I just did. I was kind of in a hurry, but I wanted to kind of voice my opinion a little bit about environmentalism and some of the things that are going on, or not going on, I should say, as far as the African American community is concerned. Our understanding is deemed a lot of times to be limited because we don't have any voice. And people will say, okay, well, why didn't you say anything and put yourself out there like the Ocasio-Cortezes and all of this? But the thing is, we aren't given that opportunity. And I know some of you follow me on Twitter, and you saw how I spoke about how they chose those people that are currently in Congress, the white liberals. They were chosen based upon a popularity contest similar to American Idol. You know, basically those with some type of background in education or understood something about the issues were chosen based upon popularity. And also those who understand psychology, understand likability, and how you can make yourself seem more likable. Not saying that that's what they're doing, but you can use psychology to make yourself appear more likable when you're dealing with certain audiences. So anyway, my son's eating back there because I'm picking him up from school. So yeah, that's my autism boy. Say hi to the door. But that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of in the middle of things. But yeah, I just wanted to make that clear. I had spoken about some things as far as Cancer Alley and as far as how it affects African Americans and how activism needs to improve. You know, the water protectors, we all know about Native Americans. We all know about what happened to Flint, Michigan. But it seems like we're on the down end. Because when things happen, they happen to us. And that's because we are the most affected. Okay, now we love saving the whales, and I tell you, I love Leonardo DiCaprio to death. But if I had the opportunity, I also would explain to him and the other 5%, or other members of the 5%, that this is an issue that affects minorities the most. And it is indicative that we should have a voice in this conversation and not just someone speaking for us. And that sometimes people don't understand how people are dying, not just from asthma, as I mentioned before, but there are actually literally people who cannot drink their water, who don't have running water, and I'm talking about in the United States. And there are people who don't have a say-so. And they do have someone here saying big oil this and big oil that, but you don't see until you look at places like Cancer Alley how that big oil is actually affecting people in communities until maybe the next oil spill or the next Flint or something like that. Now, I don't think that that's going to be by any means fighting big oil alone a means to actually combating environmentalism the way we need to. But I think there needs to be a conversation about this. And while we don't know more about this, or if we do know, and there's a couple of activists out there who do environmentalism in the black community, and they associate environmentalism with slavery. And that is true, because the more we actually ignore the environment, the more we are further enslaved. The more we ignore eating animals and the overconsumption of eating animals, we are further enslaving ourselves, because those animals are enslaved much the same way African Americans were. So you have to understand that. You have to understand where she's coming from, though. I think she's kind of highbrow, Bree something or other. I'm not going to mention her name, but, you know, sometimes people feel like that's something they can't associate with, so they tend to shy away from it. But I think if you make it more associated with minority communities, and not just indigenous, because I do appreciate some of the work we're doing in Brazil and other areas for those indigenous communities that cannot speak for themselves. So that is appreciated. I did not forget that. And I do support that wholeheartedly, because, you know, my goodness, they cannot say anything about you tearing down their homeland. But what I'm saying is, it's happening here in the United States as well. And for us to accurately address the situation, we have to be informed about it. We have to be asked to participate in it openly and not just kind of shaded and moved to the side. Not just mimicked, not just mocked, and not just ignored. People say, well, why aren't African American people involved? Well, they are, especially African American women. They are outspoken, but we don't have the same platform. And that's a similar situation to the ADOS, where people basically see us but then try to shut us down. And sometimes it's other African American people, including African American women. And that's disturbing, because voices need to be heard. No matter what your opinion is, no matter what type of say-so you have, we cannot sit down here and let our voices be idle. So that's why I posted that. And like I said, I'm on the go, but I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. And if you get a moment, check the link to the article, and if you want, you can comment. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.